Look at you, scrolling, watching, curious. Let me guess. You clicked this video because something inside you whispered, "What if this is about me?" And that whisper, that's exactly what Affexio is about. This channel isn't about motivation. It's not about fake confidence. It's about the uncomfortable truths you never say out loud, but feel every single day. Tonight, I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to expose something we all hide. Because whether you admit it or not, you have fantasies, not just physical ones, but psychological, emotional, power-driven fantasies you've buried deep. And the scariest part, you don't even realize how common they are. Watch till the end, because one of these will hit way too close. And before we begin, subscribe to Affexio, because once you see yourself clearly, there's no going back. Relieved face. Number 10. The fantasy of being truly seen. You act confident, independent, unbothered, but deep down, you fantasize about someone who sees through everything. Someone who understands you without explanations. Who notices the silence behind your smile. Who looks at you and says, "I know exactly who you are." This isn't about romance. It's about being understood without effort. And the reason this fantasy exists, because most people around you only know the version of you that performs. Number 9. The fantasy of disappearing. You've imagined it. No messages, no expectations, no responsibilities, just vanishing, not dying, not escaping forever, just pressing pause on existence. This fantasy doesn't mean you're weak. It means you're mentally overloaded. You want rest, not sleep. Rest from being needed. And society never talks about how exhausting it is to exist silently for others. Number 8. The fantasy of absolute control. You follow rules. You behave. You compromise. But in your mind, you imagine having control over a situation, a conversation, a person, not to harm, but to never feel powerless again. This fantasy is born from moments where you were ignored, underestimated, or dismissed. Control feels safe when chaos once hurt you. Number 7. The fantasy of being desired without effort. No chasing, no proving, no pretending, just being wanted, simply for existing. This isn't arrogance, it's exhaustion. You're tired of performing to be attractive, interesting, or valuable. So you imagine a world where someone looks at you and thinks, "I want you, and I don't even know why." And honestly, that thought feels intoxicating. Number 6. The fantasy of a double life. You've imagined living two versions of yourself. One that everyone sees, and another that no one knows. A hidden personality, a secret confidence, a life where you say what you want and do what you want. This fantasy exists because the real you doesn't always feel acceptable, so you split yourself to survive. Number 5. The fantasy of being chased. You act uninterested, detached, calm, but secretly, you want to be chased. Not desperately, but intentionally. You want someone to choose you again and again. Because being chased means you matter. And being chosen means you're not disposable. This fantasy usually belongs to people who were once taken for granted. Number 4. The fantasy of emotional power. You've thought about it. What if you could be unforgettable? What if someone never got over you? Not out of cruelty, but validation. You want to know you left a mark. This fantasy is rooted in moments where you felt invisible, replaceable, or forgettable. Being remembered feels like proof that you mattered. Number 3. The fantasy of breaking free. Quitting everything, starting over, different city, different name, different life. No one knows you. No one expects anything from you. You're not running away. You're running toward possibility. This fantasy is about reinvention, and the fear that you'll never become who you were meant to be. Number 2. The fantasy of being unapologetically yourself. Saying what you feel, wanting what you want, being intense without explaining. This fantasy scares you, because freedom always does. You don't want permission, you want acceptance after the truth. And that's rare. Number 1. The darkest fantasy of all. Your deepest fantasy isn't physical. It's this: to stop pretending, to stop holding back, to stop shrinking, to finally live as loudly as you think. Not for validation, but for peace. And once you admit that, everything changes. If this video made you uncomfortable, good. That means it was honest. This is Affexio, where we don't sugarcoat the mind. We decode it. If you saw yourself in this video, subscribe, not because I asked you to, but because deep down, you know this channel speaks the truth you've been avoiding. Until next time.